Mom, I have something to tell you. But first, I want to play a game.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what's a word that starts with a V, ends in T-I-O-N? Don't look at me like that. I wasn't going to use that word.
Okay.
Even though there's nothing wrong with it, and it's anatomically a word that should be used more frequently. But I'm not going to say it because I think we'll get the expletive tag on the podcast if we use it.
Okay.
Starts with a V, ends in a T-I-O-N.
Okay.
And somebody from one of your favorite TV shows says it all the time. Well, not all the time, but we say it all the time.
Vacation.
Nope.
Oh. No, not venting.
4 syllables.
Four syllables.
Yep.
Someone says it all the time.
We say it all the time after we heard it on this TV show.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
The TV show is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Does that help?
Vindication!
Yes. Vindication indeed, Mom. Now, I bet you're wondering what I am feeling vindicated about.
Yes, I am.
Well, Mom, it just so happens that Auntie Wendy has started commenting on the YouTube videos.
Nice.
It is nice. Even nicer is that she commented on the Gateway Curses video. And you know what she said? Yes.
She doesn't think that word is a bad word.
No, she confirmed that you guys used to all the time take away words from us that you were tired of hearing. Boom! Vindication!
Yes. No, actually, after the podcast, I was actually thinking that. I was trying to think, and it probably was like, you guys are overusing that word, and then we would take it away.
Mm-hmm.
I started thinking about it after the podcast, and I think you're right. And now I know you're right.
Yeah, because Auntie Wendy confirmed it. I knew it. And even on the podcast, I was like, Mom, I'm a little suspicious of that. Yeah. No. Well, Mom, now I get to say one free Gateway curse during this podcast. And you won't know when, and you won't know where, but it's coming.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will. And it's probably going to be the one you hate that starts with a P.
Mac.
Oh, I'll do it, Mom.
But anyway, so I was thinking about that. I think just when we're doing the podcast, I was trying to think of examples of that and couldn't at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you are vindicated for sure.
No, I'm vindicated. I actually, the main memory I have of that is Adam and I. Okay, so we were given a deck of Pokemon cards. One deck for the two of us, and we were instructed to share the Pokemon cards. We were unsuccessful in being diplomatic with the sharing of the Pokemon cards, so they got taken away.
Okay.
Do you remember this?
No. Was I the one doing the taking away, or Dad?
I don't know. I just assumed everything you guys did was a joint effort. It was when we lived in Ontario.
Yeah, so I wasn't feeling well, so that's why I was wondering who was.
Anyway. So, we didn't have the Pokemon cards, but we had seen an episode of Pokemon somewhere.
Okay.
And so we were going around the house playing Pokemon. Now, dear sweet internet friends, if you do not know, the Pokemon only say their own name over and over and over again.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, like we are human, they are Pokemon, and then they each have a name.
Yeah. So it'd be like if I walked around and I was just like, Mac, 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 Mac.
Okay, that's the only thing that you could say.
Yes. So,
okay.
As you can imagine, Mom, this got irritating to you very quickly when we were walking around the house. Just Pikachu, 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 Pika, Pikachu, Pikachu, Pikachu.
Okay. I don't remember, but okay.
I remember because we were doing it at Nana and Papa's house. I think this was shortly after we moved back to Alberta. We were at Nana's and Papa's house, and we were going down into the basement to go continue playing our Pokemon game. Playing Pokemon was like, we were allowed to do it, but we couldn't just keep repeating. I don't remember exactly. I don't know if you're like, the Pokemon have to learn how to talk, or you need to stop playing that game.
Oh, so we set rules on how you had to play it?
Yeah, and then we didn't want to play it anymore because you're not a Pokemon if you don't just say your name all the time.
That's fair.
But that's my main memory of being like, you've used this word too much, you've done this thing too much, and now you're not allowed to do it anymore.
Okay. Or we just made it so you didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I am vindicated, and I'm an adult, so I can walk around saying Pikachu 1,000 times if I want to.
This is true.
The last 10 minutes of this podcast will just be that. Pikachu.
Oh,
Pikachu.
goodness.
Pikachu.
Oh, poor
Pikachu.
Sweet listeners. I apologize for her.
Pikachu. In hindsight, Mom, do you think you would have handled any of that kind of stuff differently? Or are you like, you know what? This is okay.
That's a really good question.
I know, it's a different time, too, than when you raised your kids. So it's a little bit tough to answer.
There's lots of things that I would do differently, for sure. Because I did always try to find creative ways for discipline, but not always successful. But I wish I had done a lot of things differently. Looking at like interrupting how you played Pokemon, like I don't know how long that was going on. I don't remember, obviously, so I don't remember all the situation behind it. So I think now I would just be more tolerant of it. But,
well, and I don't know how loud we were being. I don't remember any of that. And of course, even if I did, looking at it through the context of a kid, I probably wouldn't have understood we were being loud anyway.
Yeah, and maybe it was just, was it like, were you arguing like that between the two of you guys or three of you guys, or?
It was probably the two of us, to be honest with you, just knowing what I know about myself.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but to look at it, I was like, oh yeah, like look at it just how you described it now. I think that sounds a bit harsh, but I am much more tolerant of stuff like that now.
Well, and you guys were also babies when you had kids. Like, no offense, Mom, but
yeah, we were young.
You were young. So, like, a lot of the stuff was, like, you were just becoming an adult yourself while also trying to raise kids.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a fair assessment. For sure, we were.
What is, like, the funniest thing to you that you thought was, like, such a great parenting idea where you look back and you're like, oh my goodness. I thought this was such a great idea and it was such a disaster.
Oh, I think that it wasn't penny can, but it was like the money jar for the yelling. But once you guys knew our triggers for yelling, you guys were able to beef up your side of the can.
Right. So for Dear Sweet Internet friends, we had where some families have a swear jar, because you obviously know already that we did not. We're not cursing folk, at least not when we were younger. We had instead a jar for if you raised your voice at somebody. So same concept. It's just when you yell, you was it that you had to put a quarter in somebody else's jar, or was there just a group jar?
I think the idea is that we just came to a point where you guys wouldn't hear us unless we started yelling, and so we wanted to get away from yelling. So I think it was according to age. So, like, Dad and I had to put a quarter in, and maybe you and Adam were a dime and Taylor was a nickel or something like that.
Right.
I don't remember the specifics on it, but I was able to do quite well. But then when you guys found out what it was that would make me yell, that would set me off.
Instead of teaching us not to yell, you taught us money management, sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, how to get rich.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, I remember having the yelling jar.
Yeah.
And I remember doing quite well with the yelling jar.
I think it was Dad and Adam that would lose most of the money.
But the thing is, too, is I remember, like, probably the only person I yelled at as a kid was Adam. So I'm actually a little surprised in hindsight looking back that Adam wasn't better at it because...
He was the instigator.
Yeah. this is not a commentary on Adam's character. This is more a commentary on our family dynamic. So I'm not dunking on him, but I felt like Adam would push me to the point where I'd ask nicely, and then all of a sudden I'm screaming at him.
Yeah.
And then I would get in trouble for screaming at him. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Adam by no means got off easy. I'm not saying that. Adam paid his dues for sure. Versus with Taylor, my younger sister, when we would get into it, we would hurt each other's feelings, so we didn't want to talk to each other.
Yes.
So Taylor and I didn't really yell at each other too much, as far as I remember. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like Taylor and I fought a lot more because we shared a room and did most things together, so we were just sick of each other all the time.
And you guys were very different, too.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is I was like, I wanted to do everything Adam did, and you know, my heart was a little bit too soft sometimes, and that's how Adam ended up getting screamed at, but...
Yeah.
But Taylor and I were really opposite, and then we were just like, because kind of the end of high school and my early 20s, we became quite close for a while, and it was just like, oh, as kids, we were at church 3 times a week together. You know, we went to swimming lessons, we went to piano lessons, we shared a room, right? So we were just honestly sick of each other by the time, especially because we're 2 people that are fairly introverted and need that decompression time, and we just never really had that space from each other necessarily. So yeah, Taylor and I fought like nobody's business all the time, constantly fighting. The number of times I've written out, I will cooperate with my sister for lines is...
Yeah, there was quite a few of those.
Quite a few of those. Over and over and over again. I will cooperate with my sister. I will cooperate with my sister. I don't know that it necessarily helped me keep that in mind when we were in the middle of fighting with each other. But yeah, no, we would just hurt each other's feelings. So if I wanted Taylor to go away and leave me alone, I would say something hurtful to her so that she would get hurt feelings and leave. Versus Adam is like, if you asked him to leave you alone, that just like lit a fire under him of like, oh, this is fun now.
Yeah. And I think with the yelling thing, we just wanted to try and change how we were doing things, and it just gave us more of a consciousness of our volume, of when we're raising our voices to people.
So it sounds like it worked for a little while.
Oh, yeah. I think it did. I think it was a fun thing for our family to work on.
So what was...
Together, right?
What were your triggers for yelling?
Anything gross.
So we just walk into the room and start picking our nose or what?
Or like sneezing and not covering your mouth or having a Kleenex. Yeah, anything like that.
Okay. So we would walk into a room and intentionally sneeze, or we just would like...
Well, yeah.
Because I know I did stuff like that accidentally all the time.
Yeah, no, there was the accidental stuff too, and I would probably lose it then too, because it usually just came out of, like everything inside your sinuses.
Oh yeah. I was a real gross kid, internet friends.
Well, I wasn't talking about you specifically,
but it was me. It was me.
But stuff like that would just send me over
the edge.
Yeah, anything gross.
Yeah. Or bad words. Like piss.
Mac!
Boom! That's my one vindicated.
On the internet.
We interrupt this program for a very special announcement. Our very first Dear Sweet Internet Shoutout.
Drum roll.
We had a listener write in asking us if we could give a shout out to his wife. So,
Glenda, have a great day. Go enjoy the sunshine. Get your coffee. Go on your deck or make plans to be in the sun. But have a great day.
Sorry, my stomach is really upset.
Oh, no.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
I'll edit it out, sorry. Anyway, Michael and Glenda have been longtime friends of our family, and we just want to wish them all the best, and I hope, Glenda, your deck is done so you can have some coffee on it.
Yes, yeah. Make plans to be on your deck with your coffee and enjoy the sunshine.
Oh my goodness. So, Mom, do you remember what Michael mailed to Taylor and I in Lethbridge?
Yes.
I still have mine. My stomach's not upset. A little something for Glenda, a little something for Michael.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, this concludes.
I thought you were just going to edit that out.
This concludes our Dear Sweet Internet Shoutout. We will go back to your regularly scheduled program now.
Yeah, was there anything creative that we thought was creative that you thought was stupid?
Well, I didn't think the yelling jar was stupid, but I really, really do not like being yelled at.
Yeah, no, either do I. I'll completely shut down if someone raises their voice at me.
Yeah, versus some people would rather, like, let's just have the big yelling match and have it done and over with. You know what I mean? I really, really do not like being yelled at. So for me, I had no problem with the yelling jar.
Yeah, and me too.
But I also made bank off the yelling jar as far as I recall.
Yes, you did.
I don't know what that accounted for in, like, quarters and dimes.
I think you guys did quite well.
Yeah. Well, that seems like a great place to leave it. What are your parenting hacks, or maybe something you thought was a hack and turned out to maybe be less than a hack? You can let us know at Hey Mom, Hey Mack across all social media, or on Gmail at heymomheymack@gmail.com.
That's Mom with an O.
And Mac with a CK.
Bye, Mac.
Bye, Mom.